So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dorothea Robinson. And every Sunday around this time, I come on and I want to talk, always hear about declaring to live, declare to live. That's something that we need to do. It should be in our vocabulary, declare to live. What that means for you, what that means for another is not going to be the same for everybody. But today I want to, bring about the question of just what are we declaring? What are we declaring over our lives? What are we saying in our lives when we're stressed? And today may be a stressful day for people, although, for some of us whose mother is no longer here, or a mother was, is not present in our lives, maybe never have been present in our lives. Maybe our childhood, our upbringing was not the best. Whatever that may be, it's different for everybody. And so declaring over our lives, we can have what it is that we want to have. We can say whatever it is that we want to say, and it come forth. But in that process, it is a process. In all of that, just what are we declaring over our lives? So what happens when we get stressed? Do we dig our heels in, understand what part of this stressful situation actually belongs to me, and handling it in such a way that you continue to produce the way that you produce? Or the stress that is present, you take on everybody's responsibility, whatever that stress may be, however you're in, whatever situation you're in. You don't look at what belongs to you or doesn't belong to you. You right away assume it. And then you dig your heels in and you are solving every situation within that one problem. Declaring to live. Does that mean that we negate ourselves? When the unexpected happens, you get that phone call. I just got a phone call this weekend where my niece was involved in a car accident, and she just had a baby, and the baby's less than a month old, and she and the baby are currently in the hospital. And so the baby is fine. The mother nurses, so the baby is staying with the mom. My niece, for whatever reason, her heart rate is not correct. So much so that she needs to have major tests done. We don't know whether or not the accident caused the heart problem because the airbag hit, or if this was a blessing in disguise, finding out that she has a heart problem. So stress. For me, she needs assistance. She needs help. And so what I will do, I will assume some responsibility in order to help her out. Now, that's a decision that I've made to help someone else out. I still will make sure that my home, my business, and everything else that needs to run is running. But I can fit in to this unexpected situation. I can fit in where I need to in order to assist her, and it's not affecting me in such a way that I'm out of that I'm not in a way that my family, my business, and everything else is suffering. Declaring to live. Does that mean that when things happen, whether it happened in the past that affects you today, whether or not they're currently happening, are you, having yourself be out of place, out of sync? You don't know what to do. You're all over the place. You're actually not thinking correctly. When things happen, and they will, the unexpected will always happen. You have to put yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to be able to say, I am able to do this and the other I can't. So if I was not able to go physically to my niece and assist her in some way, then I would delegate. I would call around. I would do what it is that I needed to do in order to help my niece and the baby. It is not a sin to think of ourselves first. It's not. It is not a sin to say, I am closing my doors, and between the hours of 7 and 8, I want nobody to come in. I'm turning off the phone. There's no problem to make sure that you have the time you need set aside and not feel guilty about picking up a phone when it rings, not feel guilty to, not answering the door when the children call. It is not a sin to say, I need to think of me first. How else are we going to put in place the things that we need to in order to get where we need to go? So you're working on a book and you say, I'm not finding the time to be able to write. Well, set aside time. Turn off the TV, turn the phone off, tell the children, listen, don't bother me at this time. Set aside that time to sit down and write. There's nothing wrong with that. You do not have to answer every call. You do not have to answer every knock at the door. You do not. There's nowhere that says that you have to. There's nowhere that says that you have to. Declare to live. Declare the things that you need over your life and actually get them done. If you need to make time to, make the phone calls in order to find out if the hall is available for the conference that you want to have, if you have to be able to, close everybody out so that you can get to the place that you need to go. If you physically have to go somewhere to check on something that's relevant to your business, then do that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Declare what it is that you want in your life and get it done. Make sure that you have a map, a roadmap made out. Make sure that you have all of your, ducks in order to get where it is that you've got to go. You want to have that conference, have it. I don't know where the money's coming from. Then there's the time that you need to sit down and think about those things. Do you need to reach out to sponsors? You're going to have to set time for the calls. You're going to have to make time to write, the letter to get to them. You're going to have to make that time. Do you absolutely need to rest for a minute? Are you taking that? Are you taking sabbaticals for yourself? Are you saying to yourself, you know what, I'm overworked, I'm overwhelmed, and you just keep on going? You're not going to be good to anybody else. You're going to get sick. You're going to have problems. You're not going to be thinking correctly. Sit and make time. Put it on the books. I am taking this weekend. I'm going to the hotel and I'm just going to vegetate. I believe that last Saturday, Raj Jones spoke about that. She took a weekend to spend at a hotel and just relax. There's nothing wrong with those things. As a matter of fact, we need to be able to put that on our schedules. I am taking time this weekend to rest. And I'm going away, and I'm shutting off the phone, and I'm going to just be by myself. There's nothing wrong with that. In your declaring to live, you've got to be able to know when you've got to stop. You've got to know when you've got to take that rest. You've got to know when that stressful problem or that, emergency that happens. How much responsibility do you have in this? How much responsibility is on you? Can you delegate something? Or are you willing to go homeless for somebody? even if it is your children? Are you willing to be able to say, you know what, this emergency has come up. I am not able to attend to it this way, but maybe I can make a phone call. Maybe you can delegate that. Maybe you can pay somebody to help that other person. But if it's going off of what it is that you need to do for yourself to get to your end result, I ask you, in your declaring, you said, I'm going to write a book. In your declaring, I said that I'm going to go ahead and have a conference. If there's something that's taking you away from your end result, how important are you? How important are you? Question. Only you can answer. Think about what stresses you out and what it makes you feel. Does it leave you in a stuck place? Does it leave you in a place where, it has you going back and thinking back about things that happened in the past? And do you react the same way and it's in a negative way? That cannot be part of your declaring to live. Because if you are resurfacing the past and then acting like you did in the past, that got you nowhere in the past, and you're still thinking that way, that can't be a part of your declaring to live. That stuck place cannot produce the things that you need in order to get where you got to go. Declare to live, really. So what are you declaring? How are you declaring? Are you declaring with faith? Are you declaring, and being steadfast? Are you declaring and moving and shaking in the areas that you need to move and shake? Or are we shaking to somebody else's tune? Are we shaking to somebody else's stuff? We're not going to get where we need to go. I hope that this helps somebody today. If somebody is stuck and you're stuck in a place where you cannot move, take a moment and sit back and say, you know what? I am not able to move and do what it is that I need to do because I'm overwhelmed. Know when you have too much going on. When emergencies happen, I need you to think, are they my emergency? Does that belong to me? And if you find yourself needing to help, do you physically have to be there, or can you delegate something? Can you resource something out? There's nothing wrong with that. Some people feel guilty because, I'm not present, I'm not there. If you can delegate something, if you can resource something out, you're still helping. I want us to declare to live and truly declare it, and just understand that there's nothing wrong with thinking about you first. There's nothing wrong with thinking of you first. Because guess what? When you got you together and you're doing the things that are on the call, the thing that's sitting there right there in that lap and on your heart, then you're finally getting that thing done. You're doing what you're supposed to do, because the end result is you're doing it for somebody else so that somebody can get free. All because you declared to live. What are you declaring? Think about that. So I hope that this is helpful to somebody. Can't wait to come back next Sunday. Declare to live. Do it. Do it. Don't do it for the vine. Do it for the vine. Don't do it for the vine. Do it for you. Do it for you. All right then. See you later. Bye-bye.